Hello, and welcome back to my TearRing Saga Champions of Utena low turn count playthrough. We're doing something slightly different today. This isn't going to be a chapter like normal. Instead, we're going to be going into the first exploration sequence of the game. On some maps, you can go into the map again after completing a chapter, and you get free roam across it in order to do some things, like, in this instance, getting some skills on a bunch of units. Before we do that though, we're going to be doing something much more tedious. In a house on this map, there is a man who will gamble with you, and he will gamble 1,000 gold at a time on the result of a coin flip. Now, this coin flip is not perfectly fair like in real life. Instead, we have a 50+ luck% chance of winning, regardless of whether we choose to declare heads or tails. So to that end, we're using Lyria, who is our unit with the highest base luck, and giving her the goddess potion from way back near the start of the game in order to boost it still further. This gives us the highest possible chance of winning each individual round, but it's still a long, boring slog of coin flip after coin flip to get what we need. This guy has 200,000 gold to burn, and this time around we're going to be getting around 100,000 gold of that. So I'm going to be speeding that up and not talking over it. There will be a timestamp down in the description for you to skip to the end of this. So I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. So, now that we've done all of that tedious gold farming, we are going to be teaching the Frontiersman skill to a large number of units. For the next map, which is a frontier map, we need this skill on all of our Lock-Touch units, plus any combat units that we want to use, and both of the refreshing units. Each of the blue houses in this map teaches a different skill, covering all of the terrain type skills and the skill Slayer, which I will cover in a later video. However, these are not free. They cost 7,000 gold each, which is why we ground out all of that money in the gambling game. We're going to be back in and out of this exploration area several times later on in the game, as different terrain skills become necessary for different units. So with that out of the way, I'm going to talk about Frau and Sana's units here, because they're not really going to come up anywhere else. San is a low-level cavalier who learns Paragon at level 5, so in a regular playthrough she actually becomes pretty damn good, especially since her promotion is to Black Paladin, which has one of the most broken skills in the game as a class skill. In this run, however, you've already seen how much trouble I've had training Narron to promotion, and Narron starts out with Paragon, so you can imagine that getting someone who doesn't start out with Paragon through several levels and then up to level 10 is going to be a real pain, and not something that I'm going to be able to do in the constraints of this run. Frau, on the other hand, is generally considered worse, but in this run she has a use because she can fly. She's not good at combat and her skills are generally worse than San's. But that flying means that she has that one use in a later chapter, and in this run that puts her above San, who has no use at all. So, over the course of this, we are spending, I think, 56,000 gold in order to teach Frontiersman to Holmes, Juni, Maerchen, Vega, Martel, Narron, Lyria, and Plum. And this was actually one of the few places where I used a save state just to guarantee that I wouldn't have to redo this entire coin flipping thing due to a random encounter spawning out of the next chapter, because the next chapter is the spawn point that I talked about long ago when discussing why I did chapter 11 first. So that's pretty much all that we're doing in this video. Afterwards, we're going to be heading north towards the next chapter, and because we have Juni and Lyria, we're going to get an extremely powerful staff, the Empower Staff, which is exclusive to Lyria. This staff gives plus 10 strength to the target ally, similar to the Ensorcel and Enarmor staffs, so it lasts for the entire chapter, and that, as you can imagine, is going to be insanely useful, and makes Lyria into a top tier unit, even without her singing. And that is all I have to say for this video. Thanks for watching through all of that, and I will see you next time for the worst chapter in all of Fire Emblem.